When Superstar Rajinikanth was facing a slow phase of his movie career, he needed what you might call a kick to get it started. So he needs people against him so that he can grow. That's always been the big reason for him to push himself forward. So when Kamal gave a hit with Vikram, that became a trigger for Rajini to double down and team up with who was then a so-called failed director with Beast, Mr. Nelson, to create a hit. So Rajini is used to and in fact welcomes challenges. So after the Kamal event with Vikram, the second person to sort of challenge him around the same time was Vijay. Vijay cannot hide the fact that he used to be an admirer and looked up to Superstar Rajini as a kind of how to say an idol, right? He said that in multiple movies. It could be due to Rajini having a lot of fans and wanting them to watch his films is possible, but there might have been some genuine love as well, and at least in the beginning. But as Vijay grew, and maybe his ego also grew as well, he started to see himself as bigger than Rajini, and just like any kind of a prince wanting to become a king, we've heard of princes even killing their king father to rise to the throne. Vijay wanted to go to the top. However, when the what's the word for it, blowback and the success of Jailer put a kind of obstacle to the path, Vijay's desire to go into politics intensified. Now, remember, don't just look down on Vijay. Vijay is a nepo kid. He has been given privileges. He is not as natural and spontaneous as Superstar. However, Vijay makes up for the lack of spontaneity, maybe because he was brought up in a comfortable, luxurious surrounding, being a famous director's son, compared to somebody who worked up from the ground like Rajini. He makes up for the lack of natural flow with lots of discipline, iron discipline. Vijay is somebody who will set a target and totally focus himself on it. Maybe that is linked to his ego as well. So the ego can help you go up in life and also can sort of cause controversies for you. So with that intensity, with that self-discipline, you can see how Vijay's body looks like even now. He still has his baby face, which is why one of the criticism of the movie code was that why they went and de-aged him, and just shaving him up itself is mostly enough. So this kind of a person is definitely a kind of persona, right? Persona. If Kamal is a persona, then Vijay is a persona. Kamal went into politics, and we all know how that turned out. But Vijay has his own style. He has his own discipline and strategy of moving forward. He was even willing to go to war with his own father, the director S.A. Chandrasekhar, because he felt the timing was not right when S.A. Chandrasekhar wanted Vijay to or try to force Vijay to jump into politics. So he found another person, Busi Anand, to sort of be his teammate in that journey. So he is very clear about the how to market himself to the people. He's very disciplined, and he will put whatever color that is needed to attain success and power. Which means that if he needs to say he loves Rajini to get the crowd, he will do that. If he needs to show like he loves BJP, wants to build a temple, he wants to get some Hindu votes, he wants to get some Christian votes, so he wants power and money. If you really take back whatever he does, you draw a line back, you will see that he's got the underlying burning ambition inside him. So that is what I see as a unifying factor. It's just my viewpoint. Of course, other people might go into detail about, for example, his mother wanted him to build a temple and all these kind of things, but everybody have their right to their own views. So in this situation, Vijay felt a bit slighted with this part of cinema. He has really reached among the very top of the field. Ajit was kind of going his own way, and Rajini was still holding his place. So all the forces were conspiring to sort of make Vijay move towards politics. And in that few years, we can see his sudden interest in social activities, especially those that he assumes to be popular with the public, like the NEET exam, and when a girl passed away, he sort of went to visit and so on. Even the criticism of him never visiting or saying hi to Vijaykanth over all those years when Vijaykanth gave him a break in early on, but going to see him after him passing away is another criticism. So a lot of arrows points towards Vijay's action being driven by a background of desire for or to be on top. That is like overarching goal in life. What principles he holds dearly to is always a question mark, right? But nobody denies he works hard for that. When he recently, after showing interest in politics, suddenly out of the blue decided to give gifts to children, to encourage those top scorers, those kind of activities, he stood on the stage for many hours. So he is somebody who puts in hard work, and people who work hard, they do get the rewards, right? So whether their aim is charity or spiritual or even just selfish power grab, you know. And also there are certain factors that are forcing it also among people who reach the top, especially in cinema, because once you reach a certain level, anything you see, say and do will become criticized. And if the political party in power of the day does not like you, they suddenly you might find yourself under the scrutiny of the income tax department, and all kinds of rules and regulations will be thrown your way. This template we've seen happen quite a few times, including Rajini versus Jayalalitha back in the day. One can also criticize and ask whether how sincere was Rajini in opposing Jayalalitha. Was it just due to Jayalalitha's convoy blocking Superstar's pathway and causing unnecessary delay to the public, or was it something bigger that he was concerned about what Jayalalitha was doing? So maybe it is a mixture of both as well. So very interesting personalities. Now the theory that Rajinikanth is sort of following Vijay into so why we have this theory that Rajini is chasing Vijay into politics. It's very interesting because basically Vijay has sort of been confronting Rajinikanth in few ways, not the least being Vijay sort of indirectly welcoming himself being labelled as a superstar or the next superstar. Even Vijay's Ilaya Thalapathy and Thalapathy titles, there are some rumblings about that. There's another hero called Saravanan who acted in Jailer, who was also known as Ilaya Thalapathy back in the day, and so on. So his title itself is some controversy there, and of course everybody knows Thalapathy was a famous Rajini film title as well. That is in one interview Vijay himself said that Thalapathy was an influential movie to him. Only thing he gives the date, the year as 1993. Thalapathy came out 1991. So yeah, how much of a fan he is a kind of a thing there, right? So anyway, now that Vijay has sort of antagonized Rajini and gone into politics, so Rajini has a few options. He has on the surface said that he wishes Vijay well, and he is happy for him and so on and so forth. However, Rajini's action is interesting. Maybe Rajini learned a lot from Cho Ramaswamy, the lawyer politician of yesteryear. I think the older generation might remember Cho Ramaswamy. For the young Gen Z kids, you can look up the YouTube, you can look up Duglak. So in Duglak is a publication of Cho Ramaswamy back in the day, and Rajini used to have a lot of discussions with him. Rajini was also very close to Kalaignar and Jayalalitha. Eventually, he buried the hatchet with her, and he claimed she is diarrhea Lichimi and one of the very courageous person in politics. So those are some of influences of Rajini. So somebody so senior who have not only interstate, meaning that what Rajini did in Andhra politics together with Chandrababu Naidu, their interactions with NTR, and most recently what happened between him and Roja, his yesteryear heroine who became a minister in Andhra Pradesh. All that can be put in a separate video, and a separate book can be written on it. That's only interstate level. Then at the national level, Prime Minister Modi hangs out with him. All these rich billionaires, Ambani and so on, call him, invite him for events and all this kind of thing. And at the international level, prime ministers of different countries interact with him. Politicians, governors, ambassadors from Japan, Malaysia, all these people meet him. So compared to that, Vijay still has ways to go. However, if Vijay sees Rajini's political power as yet another destination to aspire to, then positively speaking, it's well and good. So it's definitely a very interesting battle. I foresee there's going to be a battle, definitely, because I can see Vijay, the way he walked around the mic on the stage in the audio launch, and I don't remember it's the audio launch or success meet of Leo, I think, and laughed and said in the jungle there are various animals including crows, especially as if he wanted to own the term, although Rajini repeatedly says that he never intend the word crow to be as a label of anybody. And with the social media changing Vijay fans label from Anils, which is for this what's the English word, guys? Squirrels to crows. The battles of the fans are going on, right? And then of course Vijay fans like to call Rajini fans as mental ants, and of course Ajit fans go by the label of Ame, which is tortoise, So I think have fun, guys, joke around, jibe at each other, but of course don't cross a certain line, because cinema entertainment is all in good fun, right? To go extreme about it is never good. In our comparison here with Vijay and Rajini, we can see two contrasting characters. Vijay might be a nepo kid, but he has so much self-discipline, so much of focus in what he does. Rajini is an outsider, not only in terms of cinema industry. He's literally from not inside Tamil Nadu. He have to go across so many hurdles to come to the top. Different personas, different styles, and yet both of them are at the top of their game, right? So look at it from that lens. So now, the latest explosion after the Who is Next Superstar and Crow and Eagle died down somewhat. The next thing that's happening is that it can be a coincidence, it can be just a social media's conspiracy theory, but Vijay launching his TVK's flag, a whole group of meme came out of that with the elephant symbols, people saying animals cannot be used on flags, people saying it looks like a Fevicol, industrial cement, whatever kind of a thing, all kind of criticism. But in politics is normal, in cinema is normal. Rajini face it, Kamal face it, Vijay facing it, it's not surprising. Anyway, the flag news just was hot for about 1-2 days before suddenly Rajini decided to land in DMK's DMK's fort, right? And they are having their meeting, launching a book by one of their ministers, and he decides to say something, right? Now, another major difference between Vijay and Rajini: Vijay is very used to scripted, memorizing, and like a structured, organized way of talking. In fact, he has a saying, உசுப்புறவங்க கிட்ட உம்முன்னு கடுப்பு எடுத்துறவங்க கிட்ட கம்முன்னு இருந்தா வாழ்க்கை ஜம்முன்னு இருக்கும், which means that if people annoy you, just keep quiet and then life will be great. He's saying this and he wants to enter politics. Could you see the big demarcation there, right? So if he thinks that politics is very structured like cinema and he can do in his own way and hide behind his 6-foot gate in a bungalow and sort of rule the world without going through the pain, just suddenly become a chief minister, I think he would be mistaken. But I don't think Vijay is so naive. But the new technology does help him, because nowadays the children nowadays, generation nowadays, they're not so bothered with direct live interaction with other human beings. They're happy enough with watching maybe like TikTok, YouTube videos, and all these messaging apps. They want 5 second, 10 second, so they might be fine if Vijay just talk to them from his bedroom using a Zoom call or Google Meet. Okay, these are technology now. So the traditional things that these people came up with, people like Rajinikanth generation, might not even be needed anymore. So are we going to see that Vijay's lack of spontaneity, some might even call lack of courage, because look at how Rajini is facing reporters, look at how Rajini is walking at the airport, look at how Rajini goes to DMK's fort and criticizes one of their most senior ministers. He has the cojones, what you call it, or what other things you might call, to do that. That requires a lot of courage. And it looks like the way he's handling Vijay is like one would handle a child who's crying and throwing a tantrum, with a lot of patience rather than just shooing him off, right? But on Vijay's side, he's someone determined, someone disciplined, and someone had the courage to go into politics at a younger age, when Rajini was dilly-dallying a lot. Maybe Rajini had a lot of experience, maybe too much experience, too much thinking, and he has paralysis by analysis kind of situation. But anyway, can anybody say that no means no for sure? I mean, if Rajini said you don't enter politics, but God can do anything, might make him suddenly want to jump into politics tomorrow. Do you all know that? Yeah, that will be very fun, because even the famous Elon Musk says the only possible outcome is the most entertaining one. So God might do all these kind of funny things, and it might keep us fans all happy and entertained with, let's imagine, Rajini, Vijay both doing cinema as well as politics and sort of battling each other. Hopefully the fans and the public wins, because when there's competition, the person have to improve himself, right? He can't just be retiring and chilling out. So the first shot was in this DMK meeting, where Rajini was like had some in your face criticism that is laced as a joke. And the second word he mentioned also drew some interesting comments among YouTubers, whereby he mentioned DMK is one of the strong tree, they call it alamaram, with strong roots whereby it's not easily shaken. Now the question is, since Vijay now has to angle himself against DMK for him to rise as an alternative location of power, Rajini saying, DMK is unstoppable is sort of, it seems like him throwing a grenade at Vijay and his aspirations, right? So that seems interesting, and also the fact the timing of the events again can be coincidental. Just as Vijay launches his flag, all the media talk suddenly now diverted immediately to Rajini's talk in DMK. So the attention on the Vijay's flag suddenly went away, as it were. Rajini might decide to get a commanding win in cinema. That means undisputable. Maybe you want to go for 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 crores, whatever box office hit that no other hero can dream of, and then slowly come into politics on his own terms and give Vijay a run for his money. But again, as I said, Vijay has his good points. Vijay has his own capability. Vijay has his own IT army, media savviness, and so on. So he might also give a good fight to Rajini, no matter whether both of them choose either politics, cinema, or being both. But it looks like now, for the financial aspect, both of them cannot let go of cinema, and also for the power aspect. Imagine if Vijay becomes a very strong contender, become even, like, who knows, a deputy CM or CM, and Rajini is left without anything. There are two things to that. One is Rajini will left looking weak, because people will comment that Vijay fans are the greatest coaches for Rajini to rise, right? Because they will make fun that, oh, Rajini ran away from politics, and this might trigger him to say that, okay, now I'll come, even at 80 years old, I'll come, let's see what you can do, right? This might trigger Rajini to enter politics. Vijay fans already did a great job by getting into fight with the Ajit fans and Rajini fans and everybody, which also does not help you win votes, guys. But this thing continuing might trigger Rajini to also want to join politics. So for not looking weak, and also for the fact that Vijay still might have a grudge the way he behaved on the stage that day. We didn't see the what do you call it, hatchet being buried as clearly as Tirumurugan and Rajini clearly buried the hatchets the very next day. You see, the Vijay one went on in a very different way, because Vijay is somebody who's silent, and silent people, they love to hold grudges. Again, don't take it negatively. Grudges can be used for one's own growth as well. But anyway, we see how this turns out. Vijay is also observing what's happening here. Rajini might also be in a corner that if he does not sort of enter politics now, not now, in the coming years, assuming he's healthy, it might be putting him as a weak person, somebody who sort of cheated the Tamil people, someone who didn't fulfill his potential, who did not have courage, whereas Vijay did. And also, in another way, if Vijay has a big power, he might also threaten Rajini indirectly, for example, in terms of, like, again, income tax rates and this and that and so on, or just both of them standing on the same stage might look Rajini like the weak, indecisive person, right? And for Vijay also, totally leaving cinema also might mean loss of income, and in politics, you all know money is important. So both of them are in a very interesting crossroads. Kamal, we do not know. Kamal is always a kind of a up and down, very roller coaster ride he has, right? Sometimes he'll give stupendous hits like Aburu Sagodhargal, Devar Magan, these kind of things, and then suddenly he'll go missing for a bunch of years. He'll say he will never ever enter politics, and suddenly he'll be entering politics. He say he's against DMK, then he'll go and collaborate with DMK. So he's a roller coaster kind of guy. Don't talk too much about Kamal now, because just like Vijay, Kamal has very strong points. He's a great actor, and that's a whole different topic. Everybody has strong and weak points, but today we are talking about Rajini chasing Vijay into politics. I think Rajini is making some moves. His teachers like Cho Ramaswamy, Karan Reddy, and all these people before him means that Rajini knows what to do. You already seen Rajini's Naradar skills in action when he went to Andhra Pradesh and created a ruckus there and just casually walked back to Tamil Nadu. Vijay has a lot of self-training and effort to be as spontaneous as Rajinikanth, to have the cojones to go to this kind of other party meetings. Whether he'll be invited is another story, but to go there and also to put his points. But me knowing Vijay with his discipline, he might yet learn, like unnaturally, but eventually learn to do what Rajini did. Okay guys, the doors have been thrown open. We have GOAT, we have Veteran, we have Vijay 69, we have Cooley, we got all these things going on. Kamal is also trying to push back forward after what happened in Indian 2. So 2025 is going to be great for all of us. So just one word to share, not say one word, maybe one sentence. have fun, enjoy, and don't spread too much hatred, because life is short. Although we might be fans of any one person, we can't deny that the other person also have their own charm. With that, I would like to say bye bye, guys. If you guys also have any thoughts about this possibility of Vijay Rajini battle part 2 continuing in the political domain and maybe further in the cinema domain, do share your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you. Bye bye. Much love.